I mentioned the United Nations. Your name, Ambassador, has come up a number of times as an ideal replacement for Nikki Haley. Many in the administration support you, including John Bolton. I understand a host of others. You were seen at the White House a little more than a couple of weeks ago. That got tongues wagging that you are indeed a replacement. What can you tell us?
Look, it's a huge pleasure. I'm going to give you that line of it's a pleasure to work for this president. And it really is. Anyone who gets to be a part of this national security team is living history. They're watching us really show the world that what we mean is what we say. And therefore, I think it's one of those things that anyone would want to be a part of this team. I love this job in Berlin. I'm going to do whatever the president asks. I will say that my last meeting, I talked exclusively to the president about German issues.
All right. So he didn't fly you back to say, hey, I want to see what you're up to, Richard, and whether you like this job, because I have another job in mind.
No.
All right.
No. There's a lot of issues on the table. We're talking about LNG. We're talking about Nord Stream 2.
Would you be interested in that job if it came up?
Neil, I'm going to give you the line that says, I serve at the pleasure of the president, and it's a real pleasure to serve this president.
All right. You've been in official diplomatic circles for so short a time, but you got to speak right. I give you credit there. Let me get your take on the world events right now, particularly Saudi Arabia and what's happening. Angela Merkel has already said that there's not going to be any German arms exported to Saudi Arabia until this killing is cleared up. She said, quoting her, it must be cleared up. As long as it's not cleared up, there will be no arms exports to Saudi Arabia. I assure you of that very decidedly. What do you make of that, and should we have the same posture?
Look, I think this case is extremely troubling. The drip of facts have been extremely concerning to us. We got to get to the bottom of it. I think there needs to be an independent investigation. We need to have assurances that what we're being told is the truth, and that we can get to the bottom of it. Whoever is involved, whoever knew about this, whoever is involved in any possible way needs to be held to account.
Do you think it's safe to say that the Saudis have lied to us at some level and at some minimum?
I mean, look, I think that the facts have completely changed as they've rolled out. So it's obvious that there's been a differing story. We just got to get to the bottom of it, and I think there needs to be an independent investigation.
We're already getting word as well, sir, that Vladimir Putin is telling our U.S. National Security Advisor, John Bolton, that he would be interested in holding new talks with the president. This is the president wants to rip up that 87 accord that the Russians signed, then with Mikhail Gorbachev and then Ronald Reagan. What do you make of that, and what developments on that?
Ambassador Bolton is over in Russia. I think I'll leave it to him to answer those questions. He and Secretary Pompeo are on top of this issue, and I certainly don't want to get in the way.
Finally, your sense, I mean, we've had a volatile market. That's normally not your area, and I understand that, Ambassador, but it's led to concerns that the world market run-up, it's gyrating a lot where you are, and with Italy now with a budget that fell apart, and now the European Union and its future in doubt, Asia, big sell-off there, that this could be a growing crisis. What is the read in Germany, and do you worry that it is escalating?
Look, I hear from CEOs every day here in Germany, and what I'm told by them is that they love what's going on in the United States. They're looking for ways to be a part of the U.S. economy. There is no question that they turn away from countries like Iran pretty easily. They see the growth that President Trump has been able to deliver, and it's astounding them. And also, I have to say that it's not only just the economic growth, it's not only just the corporate tax cuts, but what's most exciting to German CEOs that I hear every day is the regulatory atmosphere, the way that the government is taking down the roadblocks and the bureaucratic red tape. They see that as a way to really grow, and they want to be a part of it.
Ambassador, very good chatting with you. Thank you very, very much.
Always good to see you, Neil.